Hi there, my name is Magdalena Smieszek and I'm a PhD candidate at CEU, as well as a longtime human rights activist, humanitarian, and educator. And today is December 10th, it's Human Rights Day and the 70th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So the topic that I want to propose for the TED Talk is drawing on my research and work and life experience and interviews that I do. And it's called Sacred Activism and the Human Self-Knowledge Revolution. And what it proposes is that we have an urgent need to retell the human story and fundamentally who we are as humans. And in order to do that, we need to connect with knowledge about the human, which is not just a gradual evolutionary sense, but with a revolutionary one, that there's an urgency to get this wider knowledge of the human together. And that's really necessary in order to be effective as human rights advocates. So questions to explore are, what are we? Are we our biology, our nature, our religions, our environment, our minds, our cultures? There are many, many versions. Are we our identities that we cling on to? And do we understand ourselves as part of nature or as spiritual beings, as consciousness, or what? So this new story about the human self is based on a deep human self-knowledge that is relevant to resolve some of the long-standing problems, such as human rights violations around the world, but not just that. About thinking about the future, and that we are facing massive changes, so climate change, environmental change, technological advances, that's going to bring transhumanism and artificial intelligence, genetic editing. So these will challenge the conceptions of who we are as humans. And this retelling of the human story is already underway, but it has to go beyond the understanding of humans as groupings and humanity. So a human self-knowledge revolution is kind of like a postscript to the cognitive revolution that started in the 50s, that has an interdisciplinary nature and cuts across numerous fields of study. And it expands human knowledge, linking knowledge from the East and the West, biology, sociology, religion, philosophy, psychology, and more. And with this knowledge, it's important, the next step is important to get political. So sacred activism that I'm also proposing bridges the gap between this deep self-knowledge of the interior and the knowledge and commitment to the exterior. So we as activists, if you're an activist, you have you may have a deep commitment to the work that you're doing, but you're not grounded in the knowledge about the human. And according to Andrew Harvey, I have a quote here on sacred activism. He says, "An activism that is not purified by profound spiritual and psychological self-awareness and rooted in divine truth, wisdom, and compassion will only perpetuate the problem it is trying to solve, however righteous its intentions." So if we have this hard view of humanity as uncaring, as unkind, as selfish, a broader human self-knowledge can aim to make a shift and see us as loving and compassionate and inclusive. And that's what sacred activism is all about. So I hope to put all of these concepts together in a talk that's interesting and inspiring for the audience.